Hey there, my friend. I'm Selma Jacinto Domingos, your host. I'm an author, a speaker, a leadership educator, and a life changer coach. Welcome to Selma Success TV to empower you to change your life for the better. Today, we will talk about the power of vulnerability. Yes, I'm very excited for this subject as well, because we all know that can be very intimidating to be vulnerable, for the things that we do in our life and just really to be ourselves. And today, a special guest is my dear friend, Jonathan Leal. He's a stay-home dad, a husband, and real estate wholesaler. Jonathan, would you like to tell more about yourself, what you do, your life, and everything?
Yeah, absolutely. I started working when I was 14 years old, like officially, and before then, my parents, they were immigrants from south of the border, um, and they were bakers. Like they would make bread and sell it in the streets. So I kind of grew up in like in a business environment,
Mm-hmm.
uh, as a kid, and I always been working. Just the last couple of years has been the first time that I've gone on my own, and I try to take the follow real estate investing that I learned back in 2009 from working with other investors. And we take a different approach because a lot of wholesalers like to send you a lot of mail through your mailbox of a photo of your house, hoping that you would agree to a price, or they put signs in your neighborhood. We buy houses everywhere, and the community is not very fond of that because it makes the neighborhood look kind of trashy seeing those
Mm-hmm.
signs. So we take more of a word of mouth approach, direct outreach, and not so much buying a giant list and hoping someone will want our service because we don't want to bother people that are not interested. We don't want to constantly be harassing, folks in the neighborhoods and stuff like that. So we take a very direct approach of talking directly with the homeowners and doing a word of mouth, just spreading the word and letting people know about that we could buy a house and close within 14 to 21 days
Wow, very impressive.
and bring a good deal to an investor and solve bring a solution to a homeowner
Mm-hmm.
and make a win-win-win for everyone involved. But uh, but I tell you what, a lot of people out there trying to wholesale and from watching YouTube videos and stuff like that, and it gives the professionals a bad reputation
Yeah.
because they're constantly like harassing homeowners that aren't
Mhm.
even interested, and they'll have like town meetings and stuff where like we don't want these signs in our neighborhoods. We don't want these things in our mail. Please stop, whoever you are, you know.
Yeah,
So,
because
but
it
that's
can
not
be
the
very
approach we take.
disturbing.
Yeah, that's not the approach we take. So, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I do, and I also want to give thanks to my wife and my daughter and God for always being supportful and giving me all the love I can have
Mhm.
to follow my dreams and push forward. So I'm very thankful to them and my little circle of friends. You, Selma, you're part of that circle.
Thank you so much, Jonathan. That's very lovely and very, very unique too. And also, you mentioned, that you prefer, contact your clients to really connect with them. And a lot of people there really just kind of like they really don't think how much this is so important for just you to be you and really trying to make that kind of connection, because this is all really we need, like the real connection with your clients, with your wife and parents and brothers and sisters and friends, and also they will be able to see your vulnerability, like who you are as a person. And when people start just to think, oh, you will just like show up your door just because of this sign over that, this can be really hard to kind of like build that real connection with your circle, with your friends, and with your family, with your wife, and also with your clients.
Yes. As far as with clients, you want to build rapport,
Mm-hmm.
um, authenticity with them, be open about what you have in mind to do with, in my case, with their house.
Yes.
Um, you know, you don't want to keep like a monster in the closet come closing day and
Mm-hmm.
they find out you're wholesaling it and they want to back out of the offer and you did all that work for nothing. Like you want to be transparent and clear from the beginning when you're dealing with potential leads
Mm-hmm.
because some people don't even want to work with investors. Some people just want to sell to a family,
Yes.
or in that case, it's better for them to work with the real estate agent because the real estate agent could get them what they need.
And
Now, when you
Jonathan,
work with,
mm-hmm. Sorry, yeah,
go
you
on.
can go.
No, I was gonna say whenever you work with an investor, of course, an investor wants to make money on the house. That's why it's an investment, and that's not for everybody, you know. Some people don't can't sell at a discount. Some people want to get the most out of selling their property because they have the time. They're not in a situation where they need to sell as soon as possible.
And can we also say, Jonathan, that like being transparent with your clients, be vulnerable with your clients, with your friends, and also with your family. Can we say that be authentic gives you that kind of like of power of vulnerability that you would like to have in order for you to achieve your goals?
Absolutely. The so when people think like vulnerability,
Mhm.
it's like, why would I want to do that? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because the word vulnerability is like it's like you're putting yourself in a situation that you could be criticized or you
Mhm.
can be exposed to harm in any form, emotionally or physically. Like when you think of the word vulnerability, it's like if you look it up, it'll come up as
Yes.
vulnerability. The house is vulnerable to a flood because
Mhm.
it's close to the river. So you're in a position of being harmed in any form. So anyone would be like, why would I want to be vulnerable? But when we talk about like self-vulnerability of the spirit or uh to oneself, like we're
Mhm.
referring to as being vulnerable with your, like you said, your relationships, your friends,
Mhm.
your wife, clients, on social media, because you you give your not yourself an opportunity to free yourself from the validation
Yeah.
of others. You're just being authentic with yourself. To be vulnerable with yourself is to just um to lay it all out on the table. Um,
Yeah.
whatever your dream is, don't be
Mhm.
afraid to share it. Whatever goals you have, be honest about it. Uh, it's not like if you have something that you want to achieve and transcend to the next level, don't hide in the shadows. Be open as a book. Be loud about what you feel
Mhm.
and be don't be quiet about it. Like be
Yes.
loud about what you're trying to feel and express not literally like yell at people, but
Mhm.
within yourself, like, you know,
Yeah,
a good
very important.
example,
Yes.
a good example, for me, like, I was, would be to like, go against the ego,
Mhm.
because the ego would try to like protect you from being harmed, from criticism, like, oh, I'm right, it doesn't matter. I don't want to get um made fun of or think less of myself,
Mhm.
my self-talk. And one time, I didn't realize I had anxiety. This was like about maybe a few years ago.
Mhm.
And I was like, I don't want to speak to a therapist. Like, I don't need that. Like, that's crazy. Like, I don't have anxiety. I don't have anxiety. And one of the hardest part for me was to be honest with myself and be like, you know what? I do have anxiety. I don't realize it, but at the time I did. There was a lot going on in my life that was causing me a lot of stress, and I was trying to just to deal with it, not knowing what I was feeling, panic attacks and feeling anxious and depressed and stuff like that. And my wife was like, "Man, you should think about talking to a therapist." And I was like, "No way, man. They're gonna put me on medicine and stuff." And I had this whole like um idea of what's gonna happen to me if I talk to someone and tell them I have anxiety and all these things. And I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna try it just for a week, see what happens, okay? And I'm not on medicine. Nothing happened to me like that. I just got to talk to a stranger about how I was feeling.
Yeah.
Um, and they gave you the choice, like they'll offer you medicine and stuff, but you don't have to take it, and I didn't want to take any medicine, and I realized that I did have anxiety and I needed to practice dealing with it
Mhm.
with breathing techniques or meditation, uh, have a good night routine, get some sleep, stuff like that. Things that I wasn't aware of because I wasn't being vulnerable to myself.
Mhm.
I was letting my ego get in the way. Like, you don't need that stuff. Like, you're gonna get criticized. People are gonna think you're crazy.
Mhm.
Who cares? Like, who cares? Like, just be an open book, uh, and feel and get out of the shadows and just take the help that's out there. Like whenever you put yourself in a position of vulnerability, it's that's those are the seeds and the building blocks for transcendence, growth, and change. Because as humans, we're always changing and growing and evolving. And when you put yourself in a position of vulnerability, that's when those doors begin to open, those opportunities. You
And
might
you
find
become
out.
stronger too. You become
Yeah,
like a stronger as a person because you are like aware of who you are as a person and really how to deal with your challenge and obstacle, instead of just keeping everything to yourself. I like this quote here on the book from Brené Brown from this book here, where she says that there is like a paradox, when we talk about vulnerability. She says, vulnerability is the last thing I want you to see in me, but the first thing I look for in you. When I was reading this, I'm like, oh, wow, that's true. Because we are so afraid sometimes to be judged by other people, what they will think. Oh my goodness, maybe they will think I'm crazy. Maybe they will think I don't have the right skills. I'm this and that. But when we are trying to connect with the other person, the first thing we want really to see is who you are as a person. Can I trust you? Can I feel that I can connect to you?
absolutely.
Mhm.
And just like I said, like vulnerability is the building blocks of your self-authenticity
Yes.
and self-discovery. Opportunities begin to open up. You start. getting ideas without feeling like you're forcing it,
Mm-hmm.
because you're not going against you're not fighting with yourself anymore. You're not seeking validation from others to see your vision. You understand your own vision, what it is you're trying to achieve, and learning to say no to what others are. The whole world's gonna know every time you tell someone you have a goal,
Mm-hmm.
or that you want to do something. Everyone's always gonna criticize, like they always are the experts and you're not, and that's how it usually goes. But by being honest with yourself and with others, like, you'll get to weed out and pull the weeds and see who's really willing to go on that ride with you.
Yeah, just will be um open and trying to not like think that someone will judge you for who you are as a person. And also when I think also about the word like vulnerability, I remember I'm the oldest daughter, and as the oldest daughter, I had to take care of my brothers and sister. And I was always feel the need for me to be very strong so they could feel protected, my little brothers and sister. But then when I grew up, I realized that it was a hard role, because I could also ask like for help. And then I realized that I always trying to be the stronger one when I didn't needed to be the stronger one. I just needed to be myself and say, hey, I also need some kind of help. Can you help me doing this and that? And sometimes people are really afraid to be vulnerable and asking for help. What would you say to someone that feel that maybe other people will judge them? Maybe they will feel because they are weak. Oh no, this person is so vulnerable. Maybe they're weak. What will you say to someone that feel in this way and they can use their vulnerability to feel empowered?
Well, to begin with, like, whenever you ask for help, there's that stigma that maybe you're not smart enough or
Mhm.
that you're weak and you can't handle it. But that's not true. Like, don't ever feel like that. Like, we're human beings. We're creatures of community and service. Like, it's natural in our hearts and spirit to want to seek help, and to have that empowerment from the community that you're a part of or the group that you're a part of. Whenever you seek for that help, and if you get it, then you're on the right path.
Mhm.
You know you're on the right path to with the right group of people. And even if you don't have anyone, like, um, you can get that empowerment to move forward, even if you don't have anyone. Me personally, like, when I was trying to deal with things by myself, when I was having anxiety,
Mhm.
um, I would seek God, and it almost like I felt it in my heart that, talk to your wife about this. Like, that's when I would pray to God, that's what I was feeling, and it was a little embarrassing and hard. Like, I I have anxiety.
Yeah,
Like,
because
why are you
sometimes,
ang like,
yeah.
why are you anxious? Like, that's what I was afraid. Like, are
Mhm.
they like she's gonna be like, what's wrong with me? Like, why are you anxious? Like, why are you having panic attacks? And but no, it didn't work out like that. She was really understanding, and that to me was validation. I said that you don't like, it's like a paradox, almost like contradictory.
Yes.
Like, because you don't want that validation. You don't need it, but at the same time, like
You need it.
I guess the word I'm looking for is not validation, but comfort. Like
Yeah.
comfort that you're in the right hands,
The
that
understanding. Mhm.
that I married the right person. And through that I was able to get the help that I needed to
Mhm.
overcome these things. And I still feel like that anxiety sometimes, but now I know how to manage it and work with it and not let it completely defeat me.
Mhm.
And in that way, that's empowerment because if you're not authentic and honest with yourself and to those around you, you're always going to be wondering if these are the right people for you.
Yes.
You can't pretend to, like, when you first, go on a date when you're in high school, you try to be someone you're not.
Mhm.
You want to be cool and tough, and you want this person to love you for the cool, tough guy that you are or
Mhm.
whatever. But you can't pretend to be someone for the rest of your life after you marry them. At some point, you're gonna have to,
Be
that-
yourself. Yeah.
yeah, the egg's gonna break, that shell's gonna come off, and you're gonna be just like a little chick, vulnerable. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I couldn't pretend to be this tough, cool guy my whole life. This is who I really am. This is who you're gonna spend the rest of your life with. And in any like uh situation in life, you're married to that situation. Like, we have relationships with friends,
Mhm.
coworkers, you know, your spouse, even with your business. That's a relationship. Yeah, you're in a relationship with your business, and to be vulnerable sometimes, like, you think to yourself, what I'm doing right now is not working for my business. Like, I gotta just be honest with myself, and I gave it a try. A few years have gone by, and not in a happy place. Like, I'm not enjoying this anymore. And your ego wants to hold on because you put all that time and effort, and sometimes you have to, like, let it go and start fresh,
Mhm.
you know, and you let it go by allowing yourself to understand that that's not gonna last, like that unhappiness, because you're fighting to keep something that's not making you
Yeah.
feel good anymore. And it's good to start over, and there's nothing wrong with that. You're not a failure. You tried, and you get back up and keep pushing forward with whatever it is in life you're trying to achieve, whether it's through friendships or, you know,
Mhm.
business, marriage, anything like that.
Yeah.
Like as humans, like we uh we're always in some kind of relationship with everything.
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
So
Now go
I'm
on.
sorry. So I was gonna say, like, that goes back to what you're saying. Like, that to me is empowerment. Like, is you're breaking the chains and setting yourself free
Yes,
from
and you
from the
just feel like,
chains.
yes, and you just feel like so relieved. You feel like, oh my goodness, it's like it's like something would just take off from your shoulder, and you realize that you just can be yourself. You can be free, respectful, and always free and honest with anyone around you. You don't need like to pretend. And I truly believe in the power of vulnerability, because this really give you, like, to yourself, the opportunity to be authentic, be an authentic person, and just be a lot of people, they ask themselves, but what does really mean to be like a vulnerable? I would say just one word: be authentic. Be yourself, be honest, and that's really the way, and then the better way for you to live your life.
Yes. Um, almost like children, like,
Hmm.
little kids, like toddlers. They're very vulnerable. to the whole world. Like they're they're just living their life, crawling under tables, bumping their heads, crying, like anything can hurt them. They're just exposed to the world and like deep down inside we have that child within us because we were once children too.
Mhm.
We didn't care about judgment. We didn't care about, you know, I pooped my diaper,
Yes.
or whatever. Like we didn't care. Like we were children at some point.
Mhm.
And deep down inside we have that, and we want to live like in a childlike fashion and enjoy and then live for the moment and be vulnerable just like a child.
Would be.
Don't worry about being judged or about someone laughing at you or whatever. Like you're just completely exposed to everything, and by being like that, like you can really live for the moment.
Yeah. And just be happy.
Uh-huh. Be happy. And when you get in that state of mind of like peace that and happiness that, yeah, I'm not making millions of dollars, or I don't have the nicest car in the world, or a bunch of houses, or the greatest vacations, but we literally have everything we need right before us in this moment. Everything is perfect just the way that it's meant to be. One time I heard this quote from, I think it was like a Buddhist monk. I don't remember their name, but they said,
Mhm.
just close your eyes and tell yourself, I'm exactly where I need to be in this moment in life, right here.
Beautiful. Yeah.
And that's it. You know, think of like a child, childlike fashion, and
Mhm.
just be exposed completely to everything, and who cares what everybody thinks, like, you know.
Which is beautiful. Thank you so much, Jonathan. I appreciate you coming and just really share, your experience through the power of, vulnerability, which is be also very vulnerable to really tell us, about you and your story and your life. And I really appreciate it so much. And thank you. I'm so grateful. Like one word before we end, that would you like to say to someone that is struggling to um, be vulnerable to the society, be vulnerable with themselves? What would be your last word to really just give them this empowerment so they could feel relief, from their own armor?
Um, what I would say to them is, don't let the bells and whistles and fancy things in life, um, keep you from being yourself. Like the fancy clothes and all the fancy things that life has to offer, that as we grow up, we we like, things that we want to show off. Like, don't let that stuff get in the way. Because in the end, we all have a heart. We all have a mind. We all bleed red, and we were all once children too. And we're humans. Like, we have a spirit, and we're all the same in that sense. And those essence, like, in a way, we're all connected. We're all connected to this universe and in that aspect. So don't be afraid to be yourself. Like, don't be scared
Mhm.
because, we all have those same qualities of ourselves. And um don't let that hold you back. That, oh, I don't want to go jogging because I'm gonna look funny
Mhm.
when I'm doing it, or I don't want to go on stage and talk because I'm gonna sound funny. Who cares? Like, um, you You can do this and give it a try. Like give it a try, have fun with it. Just like when you had fun when you were a child.
Yeah.
Like a child will see the beauty and fun in life no matter how hard their circumstances are. Like, maybe they're being raised in a horrible environment,
Mhm.
or maybe they're going through some type of some type of bad situation with their family and probably don't have a lot, but a child won't even let that phase them. They're gonna still have fun and still see the beauty in the small things and be themselves. They're gonna yell, scream, laugh, enjoy playing with sticks,
Yeah.
see the beauty in everything, and we all have that inside of us. We are all the same in that sense. So be vulnerable like a child um and have fun. Like don't be scared to be judged. So those are my final words to whoever's out there listening and is struggling with vulnerability. Uh like I said, vulnerability is the building blocks
Yeah.
for growth and opportunity. And you're gonna start feeling the creativity come to you when you stop caring what other people think.
Thank you so much, Jonathan. Very powerful. Thank you, Jen.
Thanks.
I appreciate. And to you that you are home, thank you so much to you as well for taking this time to invest in yourself and really to build yourself from the inside out. So I'm just so grateful that you are here. And I'm so grateful for my friends, for my dear friend Jonathan as well, that was willing to come in and share his story and how being vulnerable really helped him. And I truly believe that will help you too, also to empower yourself in a very positive way. So stay connected with us. And if you'd like to connect with Jonathan, so you will find his information below here on my channel. And also go to my podcast, Minds of Greatness. You can look with my name, Selma Domingos. And I also have there really great tips for you to help you empower yourself on your journey. And please, please subscribe and share because we are here to empower you. We are here to be with you on your journey. And that's why we are here. And that's why we do what we do because we want the best for you. We love you, we see you, and we feel you. So that's why we are here. So stay with us, stay connected with us. And for more information, you can also go to my website, selmajacintodomingos.com. And I will see you next time, my friend. And God bless you, my friend. See you next time. Jonathan, my
God
friend,
bless
thank
you.
you so much again. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me, and enjoy the rest of your day.
My pleasure, my friend. My pleasure.